Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I got another little ammunition test for you, and what we're going to be looking at today is actually these little CCI 22 shorts. So these are a CB cap. These are shooting a 29 grain bullet, which is very light for a 22, at 710 feet per second, which is fairly slow. So these are actually a subsonic round, so they're very quiet, and obviously they're not very powerful, seeing as they're a light bullet moving fairly slow. But these are actually going to be pretty close to the power of what you'd expect out of a lot of 22 pellet guns. And so these are very quiet. It's really nice for small game hunting or even pest control. If you're shooting in an area where you really don't want to make a lot of noise, these can be very handy. So we're just going to shoot them into water, see how they do. Just going to give you a quick size comparison. So this is a regular 22 long rifle round. This is the CB cap. So obviously it's smaller. If you're using a magazine-fed semi-auto, these little CB caps will probably fit in your magazine. I don't know if they'd feed. I know they're not going to be enough to cycle your action, so you'd have to manually cycle your action. If you're using something like a lever action gun that has a tube for your feeding mechanism, a tube magazine, these will actually fit and cycle out of those a lot of times, which is pretty nice. So let's go set up the test and try them out. Alright guys, so the test weapon this afternoon is going to be my Ruger 1022, and this rifle features an 18.5-inch barrel. It's a very common rifle, so it should be a good test bed for shooting this little CB cap. Now, one thing you'll notice is while I am wearing safety glasses, I don't need any hearing protection for this round. It's subsonic, and it's very, very quiet. So really, it's about as close as you can get to a suppressed round without actually having a suppressor. So let's go give it a shot. Didn't cycle the action. Let's go give it a look. Alright, let's come down here and inspect the damage. Very quiet, not much fuss or anything. Just went in. You can see the entry point right there. Turn it around. And yeah, it looks like it exited the first jug. There's an exit wound right there. And I'm seeing an entry on the second jug right here. Turn that around and there is actually an exit on the second jug. Wow, I'm surprised. I didn't think we'd get this much. So there's your entry on the third jug. Notice, again, these are clean little holes. These jugs are just leaking out very slowly. Turn that around, and there's no exit on the third jug. So if you remember when we tested that mini mag hollow point, it ended up in the third jug as well. So just because this is a low velocity round does not mean necessarily that you're not going to get any penetration. Yeah, it's floating around in there. So I'll dump this out and we'll try to retrieve that bullet. Alright, so there we go. The bullet, as you can tell, is pretty much intact. Not a lot of deformation or anything there. Alright guys, so just some final thoughts on these little CB shorts. Overall, I really like them. I think they're a great round to have in the toolkit. They're very small and compact, which means that if you're backpacking or putting together any system where you're really concerned about weight, you're going to be able to carry more shots for the same amount of weight, which is really nice. We didn't give up that much penetration. If you saw my video on these CCI Mini Mag hollow points, which is a much faster, much heavier bullet, we ended up in the third jug. So they both penetrated very similarly. Now, if you're going to be taking a very long shot, maybe like 150 yards, I definitely take the full power load. I think this is going to drop off much faster. But for general, small game hunting, pest control, stuff like that, I would probably prefer this little CB short. It's much quieter, and it's just a pleasure to shoot. It really is. It's very nice. Absolutely no recoil. Very quiet. And it's just really nice. Now, the downside's obviously a little bit range limited, and they're going to be expensive. You know, these aren't going to be the absolute cheapest ammo you find. But if you're just going to take a few shots, I think they're definitely worth it. And just one quick warning, these do have a range of 1.5 miles, which essentially, you know, if you shoot at a 45-degree angle, these are going to go quite a ways. So just because they're quiet and small and not very powerful doesn't mean that you can be irresponsible with them. They are still a firearm. So, if you have any questions at all about these, feel free to leave that down in the comments below. I'd be happy to help you guys out with that stuff. If you like what you saw, I appreciate you hit the little thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. I have more videos coming. Everyone have a nice day, and thanks for watching.